Hello, everyone. This is Andrew Berman from National Mortgage Professional Magazine. Thank you for joining us for another Mortgage Leadership Outlook. With me today, I am so excited to introduce you to Samir Dedhia.
Dedhia, perfect, Andrew. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So Samir is joining us. He's a mortgage broker. He's a partner at a mortgage broker. You might actually be familiar with SD Capital. SD Capital has just recently rebranded to
LemonBrew Lending.
Yeah, there it goes. LemonBrew Lending. Very cool.
Very excited about
You've
that.
got the old school LemonBrew Lending going on
You
here.
got it. You got it. Yep. I'm going to switch it up soon, though. Don't worry.
Cool.
I'll make sure you get a hat too as well.
All right. So listen, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about. But so if you're not familiar, and by the way, I'm going to be monitoring all your questions. So please, actually, if you have anything you want to talk about here, please just join us right here. Hold on for a sec. Let's just get this ready to chat. If anyone has any comments, use the comment box. I'm gonna monitor Facebook messages on here. And okay, so Samir is a partner at SD Capital. That's now LemonBrew Lending. SD Capital in 2019 was Quicken's largest mortgage broker, the number one mortgage broker. Which is out of I think they have 6,000 brokers around the country that are doing business with them. So it's a phenomenal number to hit. Specifically for you guys, last month we were talking a little bit about this. Your production for last month for March, what was that?
Final tally was 101 million in total volume.
That's insane. That is just absolutely insane. And now did it start to slow down towards the end of the month? I mean, what was the activity like, from the beginning of the month to the end of the month?
Yeah, no, I think there was a lot of loans coming in over time in general. We do a really good job, especially with refinancing our clients and making sure we reach out to them as soon as possible to kind of give them the best opportunity to refinance. So we had a lot of deals coming in early in the months. But honestly speaking, things did keep extremely steady throughout the whole month. We thought that with the unfortunate, pandemic that's happening now with the coronavirus, we thought that it would slow down. Even, Andrew, into this month of April right now. I mean, a little bit of a slowdown, but nothing that's really concerning, to quite honestly, where I think things are picking back up. We had a little bit of a hiccup for about a few days, or maybe 3-4 days, but it picked back up again in April. So fortunately, touch wood, our sales team is doing phenomenal. Operations is really kicking butt, and they have really honed in and figured out that we have to keep grinding despite what's happening around us.
So now, productivity wise, people obviously you were always got to be there to kind of got to be in it to win it. Like you're in your office, you guys have cool offices. There's definitely you walk around, people are excited to be there. You're not a work from home kind of office. What was that transition to go from a traditional office to someone actually who obviously, as you guys now have to work from home?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great question. I remember it like yesterday. It was March 12th. The executive team and we all spoke together, kind of figuring out, saying, hey, this is going to probably pick up. We're going to need to figure out a way to get everybody situated at home. And we made the announcement that Friday, which was the 13th, I believe. Ironically enough, Friday the 13th, we all just, made an announcement to the company. We're going to work from home. In the meantime, we had reached out to our senior leadership team to make sure we're all good to go. Does anyone need equipment? Does anyone need, phone capabilities, internet, whatever it might be, to kind of help them transition better? But at that moment, we decided that it was the right time to do it. And, it's not easy, right, Andrew? I mean, I think for any company out there that says, oh, yeah, we just flick of a switch, we just transitioned, we started working from home. I think that's not always the exact truth.
Yeah.
We're all humans, right? We all like human interaction. I say that all the time. And I think the biggest thing for us was not being around each other every single day and having the luxury of getting up, walking over, even if it's talking about the weekend or what we did last night with our friends or family or whatever it might be, just to keep the morale up. I think that always is really helpful. So for us, it was extremely, challenging, I would say. But, the discipline that we always kept was no matter what, we cannot skip a beat, right? We have to stay disciplined in what we're going to do. We have to stay focused. Our clients need us. We cannot let anything that surrounds us as negativity influence how we behave and how we transition ourselves and conduct our business. So, for example, one of the things we started doing were daily huddles, right? Daily morning huddles. Obviously, you take that for granted. You're like, oh, I'll just get in the morning and just talk to everybody, see how things are going. Now we have to actually schedule it, right? In some instances, we have to schedule around other people's schedule with their kids or their wives who are maybe, or their spouses who are having to do something, a meeting at home, for their work as well. So we had to transition to that. We also started having weekly status calls for all three entities. We have LemonBrew Mortgage, Realty, and Abstract. We had to figure out all of that and get everybody in sync once a week. Then we started getting creative. We're like, hey guys, why don't we have a happy hour once a week at least on Thursdays? And look, God bless Zoom, right? Zoom is our best friend right now. We're using it daily, as I'm sure everyone's using it for social and work as well. But that was a huge help for all of us to stay connected, right? And I think that was the biggest thing, where we kind of realized that, it's one of those things where we take it for granted at times. We spoke earlier how you take for granted just going to the supermarket or going here or going there and meeting people randomly and talking to them. You take that for granted. And I think having the social, the technology, the connections with everyone, where it's not perfect, it's not 100% perfect, but I think it's helping keep the productivity going and helping us not falter.
So do you think actually that, will you go back to, the way things were? I mean, what's that going to look like? Oh, by the way, so my fellow AmBiz, Allison Valvo just
I just saw that.
Happy Hour Thursday. So we do the same thing now. It's normally we would do it actually in our own offices. So we have beer Thursday. So
yep. No, it's definitely important. Yeah.
So do you think you're going to go back, to the way things were? Like if you're looking at everything, the data that you've been able to collect now, from working this long, I mean, what is that, what do you think that's going to look like?
No, I think we will go definitely back to working from the office with everyone around us. Hey, look, it's awesome. I mean, we see a huge influx in technology now where it's making it easier to transition work from home. But I think our culture personally has always been that we're much better when we're talking to each other, and we like that social aspect of it. So I think for us, for the way we operate, it's more beneficial for us to be in the office. And I think, it's just a lot more advantages, I feel like, to kind of be there together. So I don't think we'll work from home. I'm sure some people watching, at LemonBrew Lending are probably like, oh, damn, I wanted to keep working from home. No, guys, as soon as this is over, we're coming back in the office.
But Jessica Fortune just wrote, we will never go back, always pushing forward to better days.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just, listen, if anyone else is watching this, please comment. Let me know, actually, are you looking forward to going back, or are you actually really excited about the new way of doing business? Love to get it. If you're in the room right now, please comment. Let me know actually if you like the way it is right now, or if you're really looking forward to going back. Please comment. We'd love to get your feedback on this. So now let me ask you this: is there anything that you would have done differently, if you had a little more time to plan? If knowing actually that you were I had more time actually to plan things out, to strategically get yourself ready to be in this kind of emergency situation. Is there anything you would have done differently?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, honestly, we brought on some new hires as well, right, through all this. I mean, it's crazy if you think about it, Andrew. I think, some people, unfortunately, are getting laid off, and we are actually hiring people at LemonBrew Lending and all the companies to kind of, because we feel this is a huge growth opportunity for us, and it's nothing wrong with getting the best talent in the world to facilitate. So I think probably from that aspect, we probably could have done a little bit better to kind of get them situated right away and maybe have proper training set up for them. Things happen in such a quick rush that we were kind of like, wait a second, we have 2 people starting next week. We have another person starting on Thursday. How are we going to get them set up? But you know what? At the end of the day, I think huge credit to the team. They really, I mean, honestly, Andrew, I mean, we're nothing without them. That's the way we always say it in our office. We're nothing without our team. Yeah. They honestly, you never heard one single complaint, one negative comment. If anything, they were more encouraging. Very like everyone's out to help everyone get up to speed. Whether it's Melissa, for example, who is our head of operations on the mortgage side. She has like 16, 17 people now, but we have other people within her team who are helping other new hires get in and up to speed to help with the trainings and whatever we can do. So I think, honestly, it's a huge compliment and tribute to the team that we have around us. They're always looking to help and kind of be a family.
Yep. That's great. So listen, I want to ask you, talk a little bit about your partnership that you guys have with Quicken. I mean, I know you do business with a lot of great lenders out there, but like, if you're Quicken's number one broker, we could, I think, all assume that you're doing a lot of business with Quick. And talk to us a little bit about actually, your partnership, with lenders like Quick, and and like how that's weathered during times like this.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, it's a great question, Andrew. I mean, a lot of people I talk to ask me the same question. Like, you guys are the number one partner for years with Quicken, and also, big partners with other lenders as well. Like, how have you done it? I'll speak specifically to Quicken, for example, or QLMS. For us, I think we were probably one of the first or the first loan closed with QLMS, right? So our relationship goes way back when, we were just like a bunch of guys only licensed in New Jersey, trying to figure out how to close one deal at a time. And I think, having the partnership with them and guiding us to how to scale our business, which I think was the biggest thing that we've learned from them, is scalability, and how to become true leaders in the industry, and how to rely on talent and create more leaders within our organization instead of thinking that everything is back to us, pointing the finger at us. I think that was a huge mindset change for us, which helped catapult us to where we are today. And honestly speaking, we're never satisfied. So we know we're here today. We did 100 million. Great. How do we keep progressing and getting to more and more and scaling more and more as well? So I think, to answer your question, I think that was a huge thing that we learned from them: scalability and leadership.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's a great group to learn it from. It's interesting. So I've been in your offices. It's funny, and this I don't know how to say this without sounding funny, but you guys don't act like a company that is doing $100 million a month. You're very grounded. The fact actually that how much credit you give to your team, and it is phenomenal. It really, really is phenomenal. I think it's almost like you feel like from the outside you guys are humbled by your partnerships, by the people that you guys are doing business with. So I think that speaks a lot about the character of the ownership of SD Capital, or now LemonBrew Lending.
Yeah. I think you bring up a good point, and honestly, we truly believe it. We're not just talking. I mean, you've been to our office as well. We've tried and keep a really cohesive unit among all of us. Very flat, not really bureaucratic, where you have to kind of go up a chain to get something accomplished, right? We welcome feedback. Feedback is huge for us because that's the only way we've been able to grow thus far. So we understand the challenges that can come, and without everyone kind of buying into our culture and our philosophy and our pillars, right? I mean, I think nothing's going to really happen. So I think, one of the things, Andrew, to that point, I tell all of our guys, and especially the sales guys hear from me a lot. I tell them all the time, there's an acronym I created that will define how successful you are in everything that you do, but especially in sales. So I call it CORE, right? What is your core telling you, right? We talk about CORE as like maybe working out. Mine's kind of gotten a little bit bigger over the past few weeks, but core truly means communication, right? How well can we communicate, who we communicate to. Yeah. Organization, right? We all know that in order to stay successful, you have to be extremely organized in everything you do. Response time, right? Especially now, Andrew, it's so important how we respond and how quickly we respond to our clients, our referral partners, and everyone around us, and expectations. How do we exceed expectations every single day in everything we do? So CORE is kind of like the mantra, if you will, especially on the sales side. We hit it every single day. Are we, every decision we make, every client we're speaking to, every deal we're closing, are we following CORE? And if we're not, we need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get better, right? All of us can obviously get better.
So where was the genesis of CORE?
One night I'm sitting there in my bedroom, 2:00 in the morning, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, how do I get across to my sales team, how to get organized? Because look, for me, I used to be an originator for so many years, right? I mean, even last year I did 109 million, I think, in volume. It was last year. But in 2020, as I moved up in leadership, my number one thing was I will not originate in 2020. I'm done. Why? And people are like, are you out of your mind? I was like, no. If I can't teach and mold and groom a bunch of loan officers to do what I was doing, then what good am I? Yeah. So then I decided, I'm thinking in my mind, how do I develop something where they can just quickly know what to do? And I'm not kidding you, Andrew, 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm sitting there thinking about how I've done it over the years. And CORE, I'm thinking about all the key values, and I came up with CORE at 2 a.m. So yeah, while people are sleeping, sometimes my mind is racing like crazy with different ideas. So
interesting. So like, and how does that break down into like daily activity? You know, like so the core is like, you know, it's like this big, you know, concept, like overruling concept. But like, what does that mean for originators that come in? Like, how is their day guided by the core concept?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, I could go into this probably for a couple of hours, but I'll try and break it down as easy as possible. But for example, communication, right? How we communicate with our clients or our team members says a lot, right? Body language, communication. We can say, hey, I'm not too happy with you today, right? For example. Or we can say, hey, buddy, I know you probably had a really rough day last night. Is there something I can do to help you, like to get over that? Because I see that you're not yourself today, right? There's a style in which you communicate. Same thing with our clients, right? How we communicate, maybe delivering good news or bad news, right? You want to obviously, it's about everything that we do in sales is creating a relationship, right? So how do you build and foster and get that relationship synchronized? But from that point, communication is the first step, right? From there, you go into organization, right? Like, for example, I tell some of the sales guys, I want you every single morning, every single evening going through your pipeline. Where do you need to reach out? Do you have prior leads you need to get to? How do you organize your day? Whether it's a whiteboard, a notepad, Google Sheets, whatever it might be. Response time, obviously, I think that goes without saying. That's vital, right? Yeah. If you have an email coming in, I mean, we want to respond in seconds or minutes if we can to understand things are happening, but nothing wrong with sending an email. Thanks for the email. I'm going to get back to you in a little bit. Or if someone calls you, sending a quick text message. Hey, I'm in a call right now. Can I call you after a little bit? But then following up with that, right? And expectations, obviously exceeding that or kind of giving the expectations of what we do every day. For example, you know, a loan that maybe a client thinks we're closing next week, but if we haven't communicated and let them know that, no, it's not going to happen because of X, Y, and Z, we let them know ahead of time, not at the end when you're a day before closing, right? And I think that's how a lot of our customers love the experience. You know, it's a whole journey for them in working with us to kind of make sure it goes from beginning to A to Z rather. And that's where I think, you know, things have succeeded for us in that realm.
Wow, that's I mean, so it's great to have actually a philosophy like that you can kind of compare stuff to. And I think so. Allison just said, "What's an example of how core comes into play?" I think it's just pretty much you know, you just kind of broke that down. As I really,
yeah, it's different for every industry, but I feel like everyone could use it, right? In any industry that they're in, to kind of help make things more streamlined.
Yeah. Yeah, Allison just added.
Thanks, Allison. Appreciate it.
Love that. Feeling valued throughout the process is very, very important.
Yeah.
So I get so like, how did you get into the mortgage business originally? Like, what got you pulled into the business?
Well, it was 2004. I was working for Ernst & Young at the time, Big Five or Big Four, whatever it was. I was an auditor for a bunch of years. I just gotten married. I transferred from Philadelphia up to New York, and I was working at the Times Square office, and I came across a gentleman through my father-in-law who he had been friends with. And he had said, hey, you should get in the mortgage business. You know, it's great. It's a great time in 2005. I said, oh, yeah, all right, great. Let me try it out. I had no idea what that meant, right? But I knew I was finding myself in a way because I was, 24, 25. And I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do next because I just wasn't happy anymore, you know? Yeah. And this came across and said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. So, you know, while I'm working part-time, you know, doing mortgages, getting loans. And, you know, in those days, Andrew, we didn't have technology that we have today, right? You had to literally pick up the phone, you know, your files were this thick, right? With a manila folder, you're putting holes in them. So I was doing anything and everything that I could do to help, whether it's helping existing originators. I wasn't asking for money, right? I was only getting paid on my deals, but helping them process loans or do whatever I could to learn the business. That's what was my goal. I was just like a sponge. And as time would have it, I kept growing, you know, until here we are today. But that's how I got in. You know, I didn't know, I had no idea, had no concept of what mortgages even were. The first book I read going back and forth to from West Orange to Port Authority was Mortgages for Dummies, just so I could understand the concepts of what mortgages were. What was adjustable rate? What did escrow mean? I had no idea, right? So I was trying to teach myself the best I could. And in those days, you know, you didn't have as much out there that you could find now on the internet, right? To kind of learn, and classes and different things weren't really existing. So you had to teach yourself. And that was honestly the best way I found to grow into here, because I learned so much about operations, sales, marketing, whatever it is. I'm trying to figure out different ways every single day to try and get better. And that was, I think, a good stepping stone for me.
No, and if I remember correctly, you joined an organization that already had some experience, we were doing mortgages. So like, you know, when was it where it just clicked and you said, man, I love this business. This is great business.
Honestly, it was my second deal. where the borrower had called me and told me what an amazing experience it was. And honestly, that felt so good. A young rookie coming in, the borrower loved the experience and was so happy. And then that just gave me the confidence, right? And look, at the end of the day, Andrew, I think, from 04, 05, 06, a lot of things were happening, right? I mean, it was, we think about right now being crazy. Those days were probably crazier, right? Where there were so many other, types of loans and, well, yeah, right? So, but to that point, I mean, I think like it felt really good to have someone appreciate you, I guess, right? And really be thankful for making, helping them in one of the biggest purchases of their lives.
Yeah. Well, so and here's the thing, and you stumbled on something there that I think actually is very telling about you, about SD Capital or LemonBrew Lending.
And I get used to it now, right?
Yeah. But I gotta say, LemonBrew Lending, one of your partners just joined. Hey, Reno. So listen, it's something that you said that I think actually is something that talks about actually the organization and you as an individual. So this is definitely going to have a greater impact on our industry and has a greater chance to have actually, the wheels can really fall off the car here. However, maybe it's just something about the organization. Like your organization is better equipped to deal with what's going on today than it was, and maybe it's something about the mortgage broker. Like, so what is an advantage that you feel that you have as being a broker today that has you worrying less than, let's say, some of your mortgage banker counterparts?
We talk about that probably every day, especially right now. I mean, look, being a mortgage broker is huge right now, right? I think, if we were to go correspondent or if we were a direct lender, there's a lot of liquidity issues, warehouse line issues, things happening right now in the industry where it could be extremely scary, right? I mean, it is really scary and there's no downplaying that whatsoever. Yeah. I think for us, honestly, we're fortunate in the position we're in today to be partnered up with some of the best lenders out there, like QLMS, for example, who's always had our back from the beginning. But I think partnering up with the right partners is important, right? Partnering up with partners, like lenders, for example, that you see eye to eye on, that your cultures mesh. There's familiarity where they don't believe in something, your belief systems are the same or similar for that matter. I think that's huge. I think honestly, it's a good time to be a mortgage broker right now in the sense that fear isn't there, right? I mean, there's a lot of lenders and people that we speak to in the industry. I mean, you honestly feel bad. The stories you're hearing every single day right now where, they're getting out of wholesale, they're suspending it. On the non-QM side, you're seeing a lot of things pull out there. Jumbo side, now you're seeing a lot of things pull out of there. It's a scary time, right? And I think the certainty part of it is what helps us kind of know that, look, we know who we are as a company. We know what we believe in. We know that we're always going to do right by our clients and our team. So if that's there, if your foundation is there, you have nothing else to worry about as long as you're doing good things for everyone around you, right? I truly believe that people, if you're doing good things, you can sleep at night, right? If you're doing good things, you don't have to look over the back of your shoulder to wonder, oh no, is the CFPB going to come after me for something? No, we don't have to worry about that. We can focus our time and energy on figuring out ways to scale the business, to grow the business, to become much bigger and better, and and kind of get past all of this, which we know we all will, right? I mean, look, the greatest country in the world right now is America, I think, in my opinion, and I feel that we will become stronger and better from this. And I think all of us just have to, sometimes take a deep breath and just figure out how to look forward instead of looking backwards or looking at the news every single day and getting nervous about the numbers that we're seeing, knowing that we will all get past this together. I think that the honest truth is together, right? We have to be together in everything that we do. Otherwise, I think there's no benefit for any of us.
Yeah. I think, as our mutual friend says, we are stronger together, right? It's great. Now, listen, it's I think this has been just a humbling experience where you see less of channel, I guess channel puffing up the chests, where everyone realizes, listen, we're all going through this. We're all going to make it through. At the other end, what do you think this looks like? So listen, at some point, we're going to be allowed outside of our houses. At some point, this will clear up. Have you thought about what that, what are the opportunities, in the mortgage industry once we get on the other side of this?
Oh yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, from the mortgage specific industry, I think, e-closings is a huge thing that's getting pushed right now, right? We see that kind of getting pushed along, and hopefully that should come to fruition. We're figuring out ways, on the title side to figure that out. But appraisals on the mortgage side, right? Now you're seeing a lot more PIWs desktops. I think there's a lot more. Look, I go to digital mortgages conferences. I spoke, this past September, and everyone always talks about what they're, what they want to see, right? What's their wish lists? But I do believe with this, although it's a negative thing that happened, I do believe there's a lot of benefits that we will see going forward in the industry as a whole that will help expedite things, right? I remember speaking to some other lenders as well, where they're like, we want to get refis down to 2 or 3 days, purchases down to 12 to 15, right? I think, maybe it's not 2 to 3, whatever it is, but I think there will be some kind of things in the works with technology where we'll expedite things to get things done quicker. On the real estate side, LemonBrew Realty, right? I mean, we're looking at ways now to innovate where, we can facilitate our real estate agents, our partner agents, as well as our clients to make the transition make the transition even better and smoother and quicker and faster, because speed is going to be another play once all the dust settles. How quickly can you get deals done?
Right. So listen, I want to talk a little bit about actually so during this time, we're supposed to be going through a whole rebranding of ST Capital to LemonBrew Lending. Obviously, it's been a little sidetracked by some of these other events here. But talk to us a little bit about, LemonBrew and LemonBrew Realty. If you don't mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. So LemonBrew Realty was a matching platform we created. A lot of pain points we saw in the industry as a whole, from the pre-approval process and finding real estate agents and finding the right fit. And, I think our industry knowledge helped us quite a bit, where basically we were able to figure out ways off of pain points that have happened through our own experiences, right? But not just one experience, but thousands of experiences where we kept seeing the same common themes appear. So we figured, why not create some kind of platform where we can digitally verify or vet the client, have them move through a process and select, it's their choice, but our algorithm will match them with 3 of the best agents, local independent agents in their area. They're not LemonBrew agents. They don't work for us. They're working for some of the top real estate companies in the nation, like Keller Williams, Allen Tate, Remax, all of those big guys, Berkshire Hathaway. Have them work with independent real estate agents as a matching platform, right? We hear of Match.com. We talked about, I know you talked with Reno a month or 2 ago, right? Like a dating Tinder, right? Obviously, it's the whole game, I think, is changing in the sense of now we're sitting in the middle to match, right, on the real estate side, where I think that helps to kind of take a lot of the legwork out for agents and clients as well, right? Andrew, you might have a real estate agent that worked really well for you, but it might not be the same fit for me, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of different things that we're going to add to all of that as we keep developing it and growing it further, with social aspects and stuff of that nature. So that's the whole idea behind the LemonBrew Realty platform.
So, what are the characteristics that it matches? Like, what are the things that's going to allow me to connect, with actually, a real estate agent?
Yeah, I mean, obviously area, budget, right? Type of home you're looking for, number of bedrooms, and we're digitally vetting both sides, right? So for example, if we have real estate agents that maybe sold, only condominiums in Jersey City, and the borrower is looking for a single family home in Monroe, New Jersey, then that agent might have limitations, right? So, but what happens is through the word of mouth thing, where we're basically saying, all right, well, I'm gonna work with my friend or family's real estate agent. It might not be the best fit. So, we're looking at, eventually we're going to obviously move into the income, the asset side of things like that as we keep evolving and different things like that. But the social aspect, I think, is huge, where we're looking right now at innovation opportunities right now, where we can say, all right, socially, how do we, through our different algorithms on the back end, but how do we match the two where it might make sense? Because what we're finding is, and again, I keep saying this, humans like humans, right? But humans like humans based on different personality traits. So how do we get the best fit there, similar to what a Match.com did,
So now, does this model at all change at all because of this new way we're doing business? Like, are you incorporating more video? Which I thought was one of the cool things that you have was actually so not only is there video, but there's a bunch of actually videos asking different questions. So has anything changed, on the platform since we're now actually, doing this new environment that we're working from?
Yeah, I mean, look, for us, I mean, you know how we think, Andrew. We're never satisfied. We're changing every day, right? I mean, Reno, Jason, and Amit and I were on a call today, and we're literally, all right, well, what do we do here? How are we changing this? How are we going to update that? So it's a constant discussion. So I think for us, I think it solidifies or it, you know, re-emphasizes the need for things like what we're offering right now in this space, right? I think seeing what we're having where you can't virtually go out and meet a real estate agent, right? So sometimes, you know, people want to meet over a cup of coffee, right? How do we virtually meet? Right? Zoom, for example, like how me and you and I are meeting right now. I think things like that are kind of re-emphasizing what we've always believed in our minds that are going to work and what the future is going to hold in this industry. So yeah, I mean, we're constantly thinking of different innovative ways, you know, things we're looking at right now, things that have happened, how to make it better, how to create a better experience overall. I won't get into too much detail there because, you know, there's things in the works, but you know, we're constantly looking at ways to evolve it. And to your point with the online interview, I think that was a huge step that we did. Probably about a year and a half ago that we threw out there. And that just tells you where we are today, how important that is now, right?
Oh my goodness.
So,
yep. So personally, you know, you used to go into an office. What like are you finding you're working harder? What is your work day looking like, these days?
Well, I have 3 boys, so they're aged at. I have twin boys who are 10. A younger one is 8.5. So obviously they are all over the place, as I'm sure you know. Virtual schooling has been a challenge. I would say for many parents.
By the way, one of the twins already wants to get in the mortgage business.
Yeah,
I don't know if you covered that already, but yeah.
I understand. But it's been a challenge. I mean, look, I think some of the challenges have been obviously figuring out your workday schedule, right? Obviously, they're not really, they're still at a younger age where they're not really understanding all of what work from home really truly means, right? Yeah. So sometimes, I have an office, I have an individual space where I go into my office, I close the door, but obviously they don't realize they're on their hoverboards roaming around, coming into my office, asking me what I'm doing while I'm on a call, right? Which is okay. They're kids, right? So that's what they should be doing. Yeah. But some of the benefits are the amount of time we get to spend with each other, right? I mean, I used to be staying to the office even before this happened until 9-10 o'clock at night. So sometimes I'd leave early, I'd come back late. I don't see the kids all day, right? And the weekends were the only time I got to spend. So even right now, if I want to, get some air, it's a crazy day, get some air outside, shoot some hoops, right? I can go do that with the boys. Spend like 5-10 minutes just to unwind and get our minds fresh and clear. I think that's a huge thing. Oh, Andrew, actually, by the way, these guys want to say hi to you real quick.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, come on over.
Hey, what's up?
Say hi, Facebook.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hey guys, how you doing? All right, so the one with the cassette on your shirt. What was your name again?
Me?
Yeah, no, with the cassette on the shirt.
Shaylin.
So Shaylin is going to be one of the future mortgage originators, owners of mortgage companies. So got to watch out for him. He's a rookie in the making.
Yep, exactly. All right, guys, you guys can go and go have fun now. They were like, "Can we go now?" It's been, and honestly, look, we're all facing very similar challenges. We talk about it on our weekly calls with the whole team, right? Like, come to us. Look, we have people, a huge team of people. Fortunately, we're all like-minded. We all understand that every situation is different, right? I think it's important to kind of know what works for you, right? And figuring out a schedule is huge. We put a post out for LemonBrew, I think, kind of like what your day, finding the right space to work at, finding out, taking a shower in the morning, not being in your PJs, right? Coming to your office desk at the same time, taking a lunch break when you need to. All those different things, I think, are, we're creatures of habit. And sometimes when we get out of that, our minds get crazy because we feel like we're at home, so we can just keep going,
Yeah. So just and anyone who's in here, I'm curious. If your day is planned out and mapped out, just please let us know in the comments. Just let us know if you know pretty much what your day is going to look like tomorrow and the next couple of days. I would want to know, just curious, because I know actually when we're working outside, a lot of people actually when we have structured days. I've talked to some people that have lost some of the structure when working in the home. That they just have to be so much more reactive to things. But those of us that actually that can work a plan are doing so much better and finding actually that they're so much more productive. So overall, do you think you're outputting more work, more actually results coming from you as an individual than before when you were working in the office?
Good question. I do think I am. I think it's just because I'm putting more hours in. I have the ability to just come downstairs. Am I getting more free time away from it? No, but I think that's okay right now, right? Because I mean, honestly, I think these are trying times. These are unprecedented times for our whole industry, our clients, for everyone around us. And Andrew, we were speaking earlier. Sometimes I feel like I'm everyone's psychiatrist, right? Which is okay though. I enjoy that. I want everyone to kind of come to me with if they have difficulty, they have issues. Same with our clients, right? I mean, these are times where they have no idea. They're hearing different stories from different people all across the industry, right? And I tell them all the time, look, we've been here for a long time. We actually had a call, Andrew, a couple of days ago where we went through different topics such as, what does hedging mean? Warehouse lines, liquidity, all these different issues you now hear where they're actually transitioning into what the interest rates are right now and what we see. So it's really important for us as loan originators to get out there, talk to our clients, educate them on what's happening so they can make informed decisions. And going back to our brand, right, and how we've been in the industry for so many years where people have trusted us for being transparent, come back to that. Don't go to a lender or a broker where you don't know anything about them. They're giving you a rate that doesn't make sense to, compared to anyone out there in the market. Most likely they're going to probably not be able to deliver on their promise at the end of it, and you're going to be left getting upset, right? Trust the people who you've always worked with. I think this time more than ever is extremely important to trust who you work with.
Yeah. So, I want to backtrack to something you said that just really stuck out of me. So you talked about actually, you're teaching, your originators, about hedging, helping them understand capital markets. Now, some might assume actually that someone who's doing, because I know some of your people are doing, 30, 40 loans a month, that someone actually that's doing that kind of volume would have an understanding, and it's not the case because we become really good at what we're good at, which is meeting with borrowers, inspiring actually referral partners to send us business, and just kind of managing our pipeline. It doesn't necessarily mean that we understand actually, the core of the business, that we understand, what the secondary market function is. I think that's an important thing. I want to know also what are the messaging? What's the messaging that you're having your originators share with the community, with their friends, with their Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, well, as far as capital markets and rates and things, we all know the basics, I think, right? But I think these are unprecedented times where things are happening, like where you're getting rate changes and, just based on the lender's capability or liquidity at the moment, right? I mean, sometimes it'll be like through the roof with one lender and getting plummeted with another, right? So I think it's important for them to understand, look, sometimes again, that whole team dynamic of when you're in the office all together, you can freely get out and talk to someone in the office, right? That right now isn't there, right? So what tends to happen is in this environment, they're at home, right? They're in their office or wherever they're working. The clients are calling them, oh, I'm seeing this rate, I'm seeing that rate, whatever's going on. And their minds are getting crazy as well, right? Instead of taking a deep breath, working on the fundamentals, like we say in our office, blocking and tackling, right? Get to the core fundamentals of what got you here. But sometimes it's easy to forget that. So I think they understand it, but it's always good, I think, in my opinion, hearing it over and over again and understanding that why the rates are moving in certain directions, why the rates, if some borrowers are telling us, Andrew, right now, oh, the 15 years is going to go to 2%. Well, why are we educating them on why it may not? Right. Yeah. And I think it may not because of, I tell everyone all the time, if there's no money in the market, nothing's moving. Stock market, bond market, whatever it is. So if there's no money flowing in, it's going to be hard for rates to really come down, especially with the current, employment, environment that we're in, as we're hearing these numbers. But I think that's a huge thing where it's almost like, to give them knowledge is power. And I think once they have that confidence, which they always do, but sometimes it's, you get beat up a little bit and you start kind of like, oh, I'm by myself. I have no one to talk to, so we try and obviously go out of our way internally to make sure we're always talking to these guys all the time about everything.
But so are they making phone calls like for refi opportunities now? Like are they? So they're
that's constant for us. Yeah, that's constant, and honestly, we're pushing that every day. Reaching out to clients for refi opportunities. Hey, reaching out to real estate agents, right, for purchase business. I mean, that's another where the real estate agents right now are really, I mean, it's a tough situation for them right now where they're not able to do open houses in a lot of areas, right? They're not able to go out and meet with potential home buyers, right? So obviously other things on the LemonBrew Realty side that we keep thinking about as well, but how to keep them confident, right? I think if every time I talk to a client, if I hang up the phone with them leaving feeling optimistic and happy, they're probably going to work with me. Same thing on the real estate, right? We're all human beings. When you hang up a phone call with any individual and you feel good about that person and it's genuine,
Yeah.
You're gonna want to work. You feel attracted to that person somehow, right? So I think for us, we're reaching out to everyone to kind of make sure we're reaching out to our existing pipeline, new purchases, new refis, whatever it is, and educating them, which is what we've always done.
So how do you make them feel good and not come off salesy? Like what's the art in that?
Am I gonna pitch you?
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it. Yeah. So yeah, what's going on? I can't believe what's happening. How are you?
Andrew, things are going well. I hope you and your family are safe right now. Ironically enough, we used to ask this question to everyone all the time, but it kind of just was like hey, how you doing? And no one even bothered to think about it. Now we're actually taking time to think about it. So I truly hope you and your family are healthy and doing well. And if there's anything we can do to help you, we're here for you. And, now let's say Andrew says, hey, I'm hearing these rates are going to go down. I'm not happy right now. I don't know. I'm home all the time. I'm getting frustrated, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. Hey, times can be tough. We all know we're resilient people. We're going to get out of this okay. And on the other side, you want to end up in a position where you are getting the benefit of this on the refi side, right? Right now, you could be hearing rates might be going lower. Who can predict? Did anyone predict this kind of pandemic happening in the U.S.? No one can predict it. Can anyone predict what your job stability is going to be next month? No one can predict it. I'm telling you as a friend and as an advisor, I think the best situation for you right now is to refinance your loan. If you're able to not do forbearance, don't do it, because at the end of the day, you're going to be paying a lump sum payment at the end anyway. Refinancing your mortgage will lower your interest rate, which will save you and your family money over time. And I can deliver on that certainty. And our reputation. You've been referred to us by so many people. Check out our Google reviews, and then let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Done.
Sounds great. Send me the link so I could start filling out the app.
Boom, boom, you're done.
It's great. No, it's perfect.
Right? I mean, I think it's important.
Yeah, no, listen. I appreciate. I just looked at the time. We're like going on 40 minutes here.
I know, we can talk for another couple hours, probably.
Yeah, listen. There's so much to learn from you. There's so much to learn from you. From the fact actually that you guys are the largest QLMS mortgage broker. The fact actually that you guys have this LemonBrew thing, which is really just awesome. The Tinder of the real estate matching, and I know you guys don't like that. Makes you guys a little uncomfortable. But
I think Housing Wire tapped it as the Match.com, but I'll take either one, whatever works.
Yeah, it's probably better, a little more appropriate. You just don't want to be the Ashley Madison of the real estate. That's a bad place to go. But so you have that going on, and I think there's just a lot to learn from you guys. So listen, if someone's watching this, they want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that, Samir?
Great. Look, I'm an open book. So my email address is samir@lemonbrew.com. My cell phone number, which I will give to each and every one of you, 908-227-6042, 908-227-6042. You want to shoot me an email, you want to talk, you want to bounce some ideas, I'm here to help. I mean, I've been trying to help, even when we go to some of these broker events, these partner events, I'm always loving to talk to other partners and help them figure out ways to help their business. So whatever it takes, for us to help, we're here for you. Whether you need a shoulder to cry on, someone to talk to, you're feeling frustrated one day, I need to call Samir, I need to feel happy right now. Call me, I'm here, There's no doubt about it.
You got his number. Shoot him a text. Give him a call. Shoot him an email.
Andrew, one thing, forgive me. You've been asking me a lot of questions, but I still haven't even asked you. How are you and your family and friends doing through this crazy time? I mean, I apologize. I should have asked it early on, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I appreciate that. Listen. All things considered, we are good. I mean, I like this. I like this. I don't like actually what we're going through as a world, as a country, as an industry. I mean, this is all horrible things. However, in my little world, I am grateful for so many things. I'm grateful actually that we work in a great industry that does so much great things. The fact actually that I've got a great company that I'm now an employee of. I mean, that's a great thing. Yeah, and the fact actually that I'm so grateful that so after I'm done with this, I've got one quick phone call I got to make. Then I've got a date with my youngest to go for a bike ride.
Nice. That's awesome.
We'll go for a bike ride. Then my wife made some halibut. We'll have a little dinner, and then I'll come back down here to do a little more work.
Finish up more. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like how our schedules are. No, I think to your point, Andrew. I mean, look, we're all people. A lot of us in the industry. And look, a lot of people are suffering right now in the industry as well. But I think the ones that are surviving, the ones that are doing well, honestly, we're blessed. And we have to be extremely grateful every single day we wake up. I tell everyone in our office, Andrew, is that we can only control what we can control. Right, that's all we can do. Right, all the things happening around us, we can only control what we can control. And I think if we keep that in our mind, I think that will help us overcome this horrible situation that we're all facing. And I think it'll bring us closer together.
Yep, I agree 100%. All right, beautiful, great words. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man.
All right, everyone. Andrew Berman for National Mortgage Professional Magazine, Mortgage News Network. Thank you so much for watching. We got another episode tomorrow coming up. Tomorrow, really excited about this. We have a non-QM lender is coming on tomorrow. So excited. Robert Senko, who's the CEO and founder. I believe he's CEO and founder. Definitely CEO. Robert Senko, ACC Mortgage. ACC Mortgage was one of the first non-QM lenders, and now actually one of the last standing non-QM lenders. So he's going to be on tomorrow. He's going to talk about. He's going to break down everything that happened. The melee that the non-QM space has gone through, and talking about the products that are still available. Like there's non-QM loans that still can be done and what the future looks like for non-QM. Robert has been dedicated to the non-QM space for some time. So join us here tomorrow, 4 o'clock East Coast, 1 o'clock on the West Coast. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a great day.